Greetings, peeps. On today's episode, this will be my last video in my series. We'll be going through all the books series that I have started, not yet caught up, and where the series itself is not finished, and so I can't finish it. So the only thing I can do is catch up to how many books are released. There's quite a few, because it wouldn't be a series video without a gigantic stack of books to get through. So, as I always do, I will be starting with the ones that I do not own a physical copy of. First up is the Rivers of London series. This, I think I've read 2 books out of, I think there's 9 now, following a detective in London where he has magic and there's like ghosts and stuff. It's really interesting. I think the audiobooks are the way to go for this series because the narrator is great and there's like musical interludes. And it just adds flavour. Also, the narrator has like a proper London accent, like where it's set, so that sort of makes you feel as if you're there with him. So I'm actually really excited to continue that one when I get to it, but I gotta wait on my library, and they are not the fastest books to get to me because it's a very popular series. And next up is the Murderbot series. I read the first one and then I listened to it on Scribd. Now, Scribd has this annoying feature where, because you're paying for a membership, you get to listen to 4 books and then they sort of cap how many popular books you can listen to. So you can listen to like books that aren't sort of listened to as much. And the popular ones you can't listen to. So I read the first one with the intent of reading the first 4, but it just cancelled me out. So I only got to the first one. I think there's 6. 5 of those are novellas, and one of them is like a full length. So once I get access to it, I am going to be continuing with that promptly. And next is the Dead Djinn in Cairo series. The first one was really weird, but it was intriguing. It's like a mix of fantasy and sci-fi, which I don't see very often, and so I'm excited to get to that at some point. And a new one I started recently, Lore Olympus. It is a graphic novel book that is sort of a bind up of what used to be and still is a webtoons comic, so you can sort of read it online, but they're kind of like the physical copies of the books. So I read the first 2. There's one more out, and I think the 4th one is either out or is coming out really soon. So I'm excited to continue with that, and I might buy physical copies because I got it from my library and I really liked it. I thought the art style was a bit different. Some of it wasn't my favourite, but the characters were great and I like the modern setting. So want to continue with that one. Probably soon. The next, actually the last one I don't own is the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. You guys, if you have watched my videos, know that I have talked about this lots because I am making steady progress through this. I am actually currently listening to the 7th one, so I only have, after this one, 2 to go, and I think the last book will be coming out either this year or next year. And I think that's the last one, but I am not 100% sure. Okay, so last time I did one that I'm excited for and one I'm not so excited for. Today I decided to go through the stack by the most amount of books I have left to catch up to the least amount of books I have to read to catch up. So, this is just one damned thing after another. This is the first book in the Chronicles of St. Mary's. I read the first one, and I think the first one had a lot of setup. So I was a bit ming-and-ahhing about whether I wanted to continue this, but I think I am going to continue this. It is a sort of time travel series where the first one doesn't have much time travel in it, and I think that's going to escalate, and I think that's going to make my enjoyment, you know, skyrocket. So it all hangs in the balance. They're all pretty small, so hopefully I will like it, and then I can just sort of fly through them. At least that's the plan. Next up is the Plantagenets and Tudor novels. This is the first one. There are, I think, 15, and I have read, I think, 6. So I am making steady progress through these. I have taken a break this month, but next month I am fully back on this train. I'm planning to get to like maybe at least 1, hopefully 2, maybe a month. But this is a series that goes through from before the War of the Roses, through the War of the Roses, through to Henry VIII and his daughters, and each book follows a strong woman of that time period and a few different women in that time period, and they're really interesting to sort of learn things as well as sort of be entertained. Next up is a series I have just started, and this is the Ashes of Aerin. This is the first book in the series. I actually haven't read this, but I read the prequel, and that has made me interested enough to buy this beautiful copy and dive into the series. There are 2 out, and the third one's coming out, I think, soon. So, 2 left to read. So as you can, I just noticed I put 1 book in the completely wrong place. So let's just skip that. And that is the Witcher series. I read the first one. I have, I think, I've got 7 left. So this one should have been before A Touch of Light. But a lot of people probably know what this is. It's a TV show. I watched the first series. That was good. I haven't played the game, but I know people who have played the game really enjoyed the game. I want to read these. I enjoyed the first one, and I am interested to see what the series holds as a whole. And, okay, my last point was going to be, we are about halfway through the stack, and the last one I showed you, I only had 2 books left to read. So I could catch up on a lot of these series very easily if I wanted to, and I just haven't got around to it. Patrick Rothfuss's The Name of the Wind, a very infamous series, shall we say. A lot of people are very annoyed that the third one hasn't come out yet. I still haven't read the second one and the novella that goes with it. I have only read the first one. And I'm debating when to read the second one, because the first one was good, but like, people be annoyed for the third one. So also the second one's got a scene that, you know, divides the audience. So I kind of want to see what that's about. So yeah, hopefully soon. This book is huge, and you know, I just haven't got around to it. I read the previous one, and as we all know, that sort of fluff piece about Christmas was a bit not great. But But yes, this book is huge. It's about some of the characters from A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And I am not quite sure what it's about. But I really enjoyed the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogy, and I should definitely get to this at some point, but it's quite large. Next is a teeny tiny book. It's so small. It's by YouTuber Daniel Green. This is the first sort of, is it a novella? It's a small book, either way, but the second one is like a full-length book, but there's only one left to read, and the whole audiobook is on YouTube. He put it there himself, so it's not like anything's holding me back from picking it up. In fact, I might put it on my list for next month, because I tend to have more audiobook time in general, and so I could just knock another one out, put it to the wayside, it'll be caught up, and I won't have to think about it until the next one comes out. See, this is the problem. If I catch up, the next book comes out, maybe I've forgotten everything that's happened. I think everyone can relate. But yeah, this one I'm actually really excited about. It's kind of got like a detective noir sort of feel to it. It's a little bit gritty, but I was really interested in the plot, and the characters were also interesting. And so I'd like to see what the second book is like, because it is a full-length book. Now we're getting down to the small amounts. The Atlas 6. Now, you will be pleased to know that I am actually currently reading the second book, so I have less than a book left to read. This follows 6 individuals trying to battle out to have a place in this prestigious society, access to wealth of knowledge and power, but there are secrets that they all have, and they're all trying to tear each other down, and it's all very complicated relationship wise. The characters, terrible people, I hate them all, but I really love them all too, because they are interesting, and I gotta see what happens. The second book is really exciting. I just got to find time to read it, you know. So soon I will be putting my Caught Up series up one, and I will then only be currently in the middle physically reading like 34 series, which is still too many. And the last book, The Lost Book of the White. This is the second book in the Eldest Curses. The first one is The Red Scrolls of Magic. I am currently reading this one too. You can see I've got my little bookmark in there. So this might take me, I don't know, I will finish it this month. But it's a fast read. It's just a light-hearted read. It's sort of one that I've been taking to work because I can read it on the train. Some people might be like, it's really big and it's a hardback, but it's quite skinny. This won't make any sense to you if you haven't read any of Cassandra Clare's other books. It's like a side quest sort of trilogy following our favourite characters and shenanigans. But it's quite interesting, and I am excited to see where it goes. And the third one should be coming out soonish. And then I can complete my shelf collection of Cassandra Clare until the next trilogy starts to come out. And that is my stack of books that I am currently in the middle of the series, but the series is still not completed, so what is even the point? Why would someone start a series like this? Well, 1, to support authors, and 2, because we're excited. But still, It's a complicated relationship. I think we all get like that. I do like having series that I can start and complete, but you've seen my series, or maybe not, but if you've seen my series, then I've got way too many books in general to be starting new series in general, but I do it anyway. I think the total is like 120 books total to sort of catch up on all the series I'm currently in the middle of, and that's like a whole year's worth of reading, and that's only if I read continuations of series. I've not read any standalones or started any other new series, so I'm just gonna keep on. I'm gonna try and whittle it down to maybe 10, and if I can get it down to 10, then I will be a happy person, but it's unlikely because I just started reading Gardens of the Moon, and that's a 10-book series, so maybe I'll do another one of these next year and you can see how much I've improved, or not. But let me know if you've read any of these, and if you're annoyed that they aren't finished yet, and also which ones you have enjoyed reading, if you have read any of them. But here we go. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode.